Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night ESPN Baseball. It is in the 1993 season. This is August the 1st, and it is the Chicago White Sox taking on the Seattle Mariners. Chris Bosio on the mound for Seattle, and Blackjack McDowell on the mound for the White Sox. Before we get started, I thought I would show the season standings. These are done by Stratomatic's computer game because I don't have the 93 season on PC replay. I've only got it on Stratomatic. So, for the National League, you can see Philadelphia kind of large and in charge in the NL East, a 10.5 game lead over Montreal. So, Philadelphia is playing pretty much what they did in real life, but the rest of the teams in the division are all struggling, playing much worse. Montreal, actually no, Montreal is the same, 56 and 48. They just had a big lead, so Montreal closed the gap later in the season, but right now, 10.5 game lead by Philadelphia. Surprising, Houston Astros are way out over their skis. They're 11 games better than they were in real life at this point, so they lead San Francisco and Atlanta by a game apiece. Atlanta's a little bit down. San Francisco's 6 games down from what they were in real life. So, three-team dogfight there. Atlanta 6 games back, but you can't count them out. I mean, they came back and won the division in real life for a reason. So, could be a 3-team dogfight going on right there in the National League. In the American League, Toronto leads the Orioles and the Yankees pretty comfortably, 7 games and 8 games lead. So, pretty fair lead for August 1st. And in the West, the White Sox lead Kansas City by 2, California by 5.5, Texas by 6.5, and Seattle by 8. So all those teams, all those 5 teams within 8 games of each other. So, you know, any of those teams could make a run and get something to happen. So tonight's game is pretty critical for Seattle if they want to try to get back in this race. They need to win. No two ways about it. Tough task, though, against Blackjack McDowell. He's a tough customer. Got our dice all ready to go. Got the trifold in front of me. And I think I'm going to avoid showing any charts in this game so I won't mess up the focus on the camera. Just have to trust me that what I'm reading is accurate. All right. I think we are ready to go. Chris Bosio will be finishing up his warm-up tosses. There you see the starters and the benches and the bullpens for both teams. Chris Bosio loosening things up, trying to get off to a good start against the Rock Tim Raines, left fielder. But Tim Raines will give it a go against Chris Bosio. We're underway. 4-3-1. 4-3 is an 11, so that's all an error chance around the first play. 4-1 is the first baseman, and for Seattle, the first baseman is Tino Martinez, and his error rating is a 62, so not likely to make an error here. And he does not. That's only a 15. So nice play. He will make that play and flip the Bosio covering for a 3-1 putout. And Raines is retired. That'll bring up Joey Cora, second baseman. 5-5 is a 20. 5-1 is a 2 for a total of 22. That's a walk, and we're going to Action Chart M off of that walk. And Action Chart M talks about pickoffs, wild pitches, balks, things of that nature. So we'll see what we get. Get a 7. And 7 says wild pitch chance. Blue die is a 3. It says if blue die is higher than wild pitch rating, all runners advance on a wild pitch. Well, he's a 3. The wild pitch rating is a 2, so it will be a wild pitch. So not only will Cora draw the walk, he will go to second base on a wild pitch by Chris Bosio. And the White Sox have a runner in scoring position here in the top of the first, thanks to the wild pitch by Bosio. Here comes the big hurt, Frank Thomas. 1-4-4. 1-4 is a 35. 1-4 is a 2, total of 37 in column number 1. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. And with the infield back, out at first and runners advance. So Thomas is out, but going to third is Cora. But now there are 2 outs for Robin Ventura. Two down, runner at third in Cora. 4-6, and that is a 16. 4-1 is the first baseman, Tino Martinez. He's a 2, total of 18. With the infield back and an 18, it's just simply a ground out to first base. So Tino will take it to the bag himself to end the inning. And the White Sox come away empty-handed here in the top of the first. From the Kingdome, it is Chicago nothing and Seattle coming to bat. And Seattle will have to face Blackjack McDowell. He was 22-10 on the regular season in 1993. And Omar Vizquel, borderline Hall of Famer in some people's minds, will lead things off. 3-6, that's a left-right split. He's a switch hitter, so he will get the advantage all the time on a left-right split. So it is a leadoff single for Omar Vizquel. And we'll circle that one as a left-right split check. As Omar Vizquel gets the leadoff single. Here's Magadan. He came over mid-season from the Marlins to try to help Seattle in their pennant run, or pennant chances. 3-4, that's a rare play chance with a 57. So we'll see what we get, even or odd. We get even, so it is a tapper back to the mound. And with a tapper back to the mound, that's going to end up being... let's see here. Well, the pitcher has a choice who they want to retire. Magadan runs at a 2. Vizquel runs at a 4. So the easy play would be to get the runner at first. So a 1-2, and Magadan is safe. Anything else, and he is out. It's a 4, so they do get Magadan, but the runner does advance. So they went for the shore out. And that's going to be a 1-3 put out with Vizquel taking second base. Thought about going to second, but McDowell thought better of it. Took the shore out. And it's a good thing, because on a 4, that runner would have been safe and be first and second, nobody out. So by taking the shore out, he made the right choice. Here comes Griffey Jr. DHing in this game tonight. Unusual, but he is. 6-5 is a 36, and that is a strikeout in column 6 for out number 2. So Griffey with the whiff. And that's going to leave it up to Jay Buhner, the right fielder, if the Mariners are to do something this inning. 3-3 is a 32. 3-3 here is a 2, total of 34 in column 3. And that's a double to right field. Jay Buhner has just cracked a double. That will score Vizquel, and the Mariners jump on top 1-0. Here in the bottom of the first, Jay Buhner cracks a double, giving the M's a 1-0 lead. And the Moose is going wild at the Kingdome. Here's Tino Martinez. 2-6. That's a ballpark check with the Rays number of 3. The blue die is a 6, which means we are looking at the right fielder for the White Sox. That's Ellis Burks. He's a 4. Right now, he would make this play if it stays a 3, or if it goes 3 or left. The only way it does not make the play is if it gets raised to a 4. In column 2, the only way it gets raised to a 4 is if we roll a 6. So anything other than a 6, and Burks makes the play. And he does. So that's going to do it. He saves a run. That would have scored another run right there. But Burks made a fine running catch. And that ends the inning. But the RBI double from Jay Buhner gives the Mariners a 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the second here at the Kingdome. As Seattle is trying to make up some ground on the White Sox. They have a long way to go, being 8 games back, but they do have 2 months to do it if they can get on a hot streak. And here's Ellis Burks. Guy makes a nice play in the field. He leads off the next inning. Here you go, Ellis Burks. 3-6, that's a left-right split, but it's righty versus righty, so it's a line out to short. We're out number 1. That's the second time that's come up in 2 innings. Sometimes a left-right split doesn't hardly come up at all, but it's come up twice already. And now Lance Johnson, center fielder, against Bosio. 4-3 is a 25. That's going to be a bunt down the line. Since it's in the third column, that means that it's going to be the third baseman, I do believe. Let me double check that. I believe that's the right ruling on that. Let me just double check it to make sure. I think it's on the third column that you go to the third baseman. Pretty sure that's the way it works, but we will double check it. Yep, first baseman square 1, third baseman square 3. So he's bunted down the line, and we're testing the third baseman's range. Third baseman is Magadan, and Magadan's range is a 3. So we need to roll 2 d6s. If they're both higher than 3, Magadan will make the play and Johnson is out. If one of these is not higher than 3, then Johnson beats it out. And so since that's a 1 there, Johnson will beat it out. So Johnson, a bunt single, trying to get something going. Actually, that was Marullo, not Johnson. Why did I have Johnson on there? Where's Marullo? I did not get Marullo out. Something's not right with that. I should have Marullo here. All right, let me pause the video and find out what happened to Marullo. Okay, I apologize for that. Matt Marullo was in the extra players, and I had not printed a certain subset of extra players. I'd only printed guys I had needed to this point. So Marullo was never printed. So I had to run downstairs, pause the video, run downstairs, print his card, and here he is. I'm going to re-roll everything since it was a mix-up. So we're going to just wipe that attempted bunt by Lance Johnson completely out of whack, and we're going to have Marullo lead off. He's a designated hitter. You notice he does not have any fielding positions here, so he played 8 games at DH apparently. Now he's going to swing 3-5. That's a 3. 3-5 here is a 2. Total of 5 in column 3. It's a short fly to left field, and that is out number 2. So 2 down, and that brings up Lance Johnson. Should have done my homework before I started. Thought I had everything ready to go, and did not realize I had not printed Marullo. Here's Johnson for the real time this time. 5-5 is a 15. 5-5. Here's a 4. Total of 19 in column 5. And that's going to be an infield single going to the Action M chart, which talks about, once again, wild pitches, pickoffs, so forth. We get a 9. So this time on a 9 on Action M, we're back to wild pitches again, and again, if the blue die is higher than wild pitch rating, it's going to be a wild pitch, so Bosio will cork another one. But honestly, with a 6 on the blue die, any pitcher would have done the wild pitch on that. So it's going to be an infield single for Lance Johnson, and a wild pitch will send him to second base. So he's in scoring position with 2 down for Ron Karkovice. Bosio corking 2 wild pitches in this game in 2 innings. Very unusual. Here is Karkovice. 1-2 is a 1, 1-6 is a 2, that's a 3, which is a strikeout in column 1 to end the inning. So nothing doing there for the Sox. They get a hit, but nothing else. And now, among other things, my little Sharpie doesn't want to write. There we go. So we go to the bottom of the second, still 1-0 in favor of the Mariners. And we go to the bottom of the second. It will be Mackey Sasser, former Mets catcher. They had him playing left field in this game. He played first base, left field, right field, and catcher. None of them very well. He didn't hit very well either, but he's there. That's all you can say, is that he's there. And going to give it a shot against Blackjack. 2-6, and we're at the Rays number again. 4 means we're going to the center fielder Lance Johnson. He's got a range of 5, which is the best you can have. So the only way, once again, that this, and actually he's going to make the catch regardless, because the highest this number can go is 4. If you roll a 6, that makes this a 4, but his 5 still beats that. So he will make the catch on Mackey Sasser. I don't even have to roll for it. I'll roll for it just for posterity. And we get a 2, which means we drop this from a 3 to a 2, and the 5 from Johnson really overrides that to make the catch. So 1 down for Brett Boone. Brett Boone, second baseman, against McDowell. 2-1 to 23. 2-4 is a 3. Total of 26 in column 2, and that is a ground out third to first for out number 2. Two down for Dave Valley, catcher. 1-6 is a 45 when the base is empty. 45s are strikeouts to end the inning. 1-2-3 go the Mariners in the second. 2 innings in the books. Hopefully no more snafus, and it's 1-0 favor of the M's. Leading off for the White Sox will be Ozzie Guillen, shortstop. And then the order will flip over to Raines and to Cora. All right, Guillen. 3-6, that's a left-right split. He's going to get a base hit. That's the third time that's come up in 3 innings. So boy, that left-right split is rearing its ugly head in this game. And Bosio falls prey to that as Guillen strokes the base hit. So leadoff single, and that will take us to Tim Raines. Raines grounded to Tino Martinez his first time up. 6-4, that's a 51. This could be trouble. 51, 6-3 is a 2, total of 53. And 53 says a line drive hit to right field. Runners advance 1 base on the single. Chance for extra bases. Roll die against the outfielder's defensive rating. If die is higher, it's at least a double. Right fielder's Jay Buhner, he's a 3. It is higher, so it's at least a double, with runners advancing 2 bases. Roll 1 die against the outfielder's arm. If the die is higher, score a base clearing triple. Well, the arm is 5, so this has to be a 6 to be a base clearing triple. It is not. So it's going to be second and third with nobody out on a double by Tim Raines. Sox are in business. Second and third, nobody out, and they are looking to take the lead here in the top of the third. Joey Cora, the batter. Infield for Seattle is going to play in. They do not want to give up a cheap run if they can avoid it. But there is a danger playing in, and you got to be careful about that. But they just feel like they need to do it. 4-1 is a 2. 4-4 is the shortstop, and that is Vizquel. He's a 1. Total of 3. With the infield in and a 3, it says hard grounder with first base open, batter out, runners hold. So that's all you need to know. Batter out, runners hold. So there you go. A nice play by Vizquel, 1 away. And here comes the big hurt, Frank Thomas. Now, do you walk Thomas to get to Ventura? That's a possibility, but you're playing with fire. You start putting all these guys on base. So they're just going to play the infield in again and take their chances. 4-2 is a 3. 4-1 is the first baseman, Martinez. That's a 2. Total of 5. And once again, it's a hard grounder with runners holding. So consecutive ground ball outs by Bosio. He's 1 out away from getting out of the mess by playing the infield in. Here is Ventura. Infield now, of course, can go back to normal depth. 1-3 is a 2. 1-2 is a 2. Total of 4. That's a strikeout, and Bosio, Houdini himself, gets out of that mess. No runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 on. We go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0, and the White Sox may look back on this particular inning as, if they lose this game, as part of the reason right there, blowing a golden opportunity. Second, third, nobody out, and you don't score, something's wrong with that, but that's just what happened. Here's the number 9 hitter, Mike Felder. He is playing center field in place of Griffey. Griffey's range is a 4, Felder's only a 2, but they're giving Griffey the night off as DH, so see if that center field low number comes into play down the road. Felder will swing. 5-2 is a 27, 5-2 is a 1, total of 28, and that's going to be a fly out to right field. Hauled in out there by Burks, 1 away. And the order will flip over to Omar Vizquel. Kind of be nice. I guess I got kind of spoiled by inside pitch. It'd be kind of nice if the replay cards had some sort of team coloring to them, but all the cards kind of look the same. I mean, which is no problem. It's just my little thing where I like colors. That's all. The scale 1-1 is a 10. That's a plus sign. He's going to reach and going to have to steal. So a base hit on the 10 for Omar Vizquel. The 5 here is a 3, makes a total of 13. So officially it's a single up the middle. So 1 out single for Vizquel, and he's going to have to steal. That's what that plus sign represents, is he has to steal. So we get our stolen base book out and see about the catcher hold rating, or pitcher hold rating, the catcher throwing arm. Jack McDowell's got the best hold rating you can have at 5. Karkovice's arm or defense rating is also 5. So it's a 5 and a 5, which is a 56. The best you can have. So if we roll less than 56, it's a successful stolen base. Higher than 56, he steals it, but not a good chance. 43, Vizquel is thrown out trying to steal. So caught stealing. It's going to go 2-4 as Cora puts on the tag. 2 down, and that brings up Magadan. I am using the auto steal, so the plus signs say you have to go, and unfortunately against Blackjack McDowell and Ron Karkovice, it's not a winning proposition most of the time. Here's Magadan. 4-5, that's a 16. There's an asterisk there, which means he might get a chance to steal. So 4-5 is a 16. 4-5 is the shortstop, Keegan, who's a 2. Total of 18. With the infield back at an 18, that's an easy play for Ian to end the inning. So had Vizquel not tried to steal and been on first base, the infield would have been halfway, and it would have been runner's advance, and the inning would still be going. But as it is, nothing going on at all. 1 hit, but nothing else, and nobody left after the caught stealing. So we go to the 4th. Still 1-0 in favor of Seattle. Here on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Chris Bosio has lived dangerously last inning, but got out of it. And here comes Ellis Burks. Burks lined to short his first time up on the left-right roll. 4-1 is an 18. 4-4 is a shortstop Vizquel. He's a 1. It's a total of 19. Easy play for Omar Vizquel. A lesser shortstop that would have gotten through for a hit, but not Vizquel. 1 down, and here comes that mysterious Matt Marullo. 5-1 is a 27. 5-1 is a 2, total of 29, and that is a fly to center field for out number 2. Interesting, he has 27s on all his numbers in column 5. Such limited at bats, there's not a whole lot of variety on this card, obviously. Got to bring up Lance Johnson with 2 outs and the bases clear. 6-3 is a 31. 6-1 is a 1, total of 32. It's popped to third, and that's going to end the inning. So by rolling to 6-3, he just missed that left-right split chance for a double. Or at 56 with a stolen base chance, he'd had a chance to steal third base, something like that. But that's going to do it. 1, 2, 3 go the Sox here in the top of the 4th. Chris Bosio, easy inning that time. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 1-0 here at the Kingdom. I believe if I remember correctly, I know the White Sox won the game, and I believe it was 4-0. And I believe there were 2 complete games. I believe McDowell and Bosio both went 9, if I'm not mistaken. So here's Griffey. 6-1 is a 16. 6-2 is a 1, total of 17. That's a deep fly to left, and there's 1 away. Brings up Jay Buhner. He had the RBI double in the first with the only run of the game. 1-1 is a 1. 1-5 is a 3, total of 4. That's a strikeout. So Buhner is out of there. 2 up and 2 down for Tino. He flew to right field his first time up. 4-3 is an 11, so that's a possible error. 5 is the shortstop. That's Guillen. His error rating is a 46. Roll a 33, so there's no error. Ian makes the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Blackjack McDowell. 4 innings in the books. It's still 1-0 Seattle as we go to the top of the 5th. Von Karkovice, the catcher, will lead off for the Sox, followed by Guillen and Raines. Karkovice struck out his first chance. 1-3. He might do it again, and he will do it again. Struck him out. 1-3 is a 1. 1-2 is a 1. Total of 2. It's an automatic strikeout. Anything 6 or less in column 1 is the automatic K. Here's Guillen. He singled his first time up on a left-right split, but was stranded at third base with nobody out. 4-3, that's an 11, which is a possible error, and then he would, if he does reach on the error, he's got to steal. 4-6 is second baseman. That is Boone. He's a 62, so not likely to make an error. He did not. It's a 16, so he makes the play. Brett Boone takes care of Guillen, 2 down. And now we're back to the top of the order, and Tim Raines, he doubled his last time up, but stranded at second base. 4-2 is a 19, possible infield hit. 4-2 is a second baseman Boone. That's a 3. It makes that a 22. And with the infield, that's going to be, even with the infield back, that's a single off the glove. So it is going to be a base hit for Tim Raines. Sneaking it past Brett Boone on the AstroTurf. And keeps the inning going. So 2-out single brings up Joey Cora. Cora walked and grounded to short, 0 for 1. 5-4 for Cora is a 2. 5-1 is a 2, total of 4, and that's a ground ball to short. Easy play for Vizquel. He'll go to the first for the easy out, and that's going to do it. Nothing doing for the Sox. They get a hit, but nothing to show for it. Other than a hit, we go to the bottom of the 5th, still 1-0 in favor of Seattle. Pitching duel has broken out at the Kingdom. So here's Mackey Sasser. And if Seattle gets the lead late in the game, we will be making a defensive substitution in for Sasser in left field. Somebody will play left field. I don't know who, but anybody that has got to be better than Sasser. 3-5 is a 30. 3-5 is a 3. Total of 33. That's a line out to center field. So Sasser 0 for 2. 2 flyouts to center field. Vance Johnson tracks him down. 1 down for Brett Boone. He grounded to Ventura his first time up. 1-6 is a 45 when the base is empty. That is a strikeout. 2 down, and that brings up Dave Death Valley. He struck out his first time up. 2-1's a 39. 2-3 is a 3. Total of 42, and that is a ground ball to short. Guillen makes the play, and the inning is over. Another 1-2-3 inning for Blackjack. He's actually retired the last 7 he has faced. 8 if you count the caught stealing. So we go to the top of the 6th. Still 1-0. Hard to believe the White Sox with a potent offense are being shut out, but Chris Bosio has been living the good life so far. Here is Frank Thomas. He is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. 3-4, and that is a 19. And a 3-2 is a 1. Total of 20 in column 3. That's a fly to right field. And the big hurt is 0 for 3 on the evening. Brings up Robin Ventura. He's 0 for 2, grounded to first and struck out. 6-2 is a 9, so we're in the ballpark for column 6 now in the Kingdom. And Ventura's a lefty, so we're looking at this upper column. So if we roll a 5 or a 6, that's really going to jump this number up. 6-3 over here means a 2 for Bosio. So we're going to add 2 to whatever this new number is. Right now, the 2 and the 9 make an 11 for a single and a possible home run, but that can change based on what is rolled. Roll 2. So that drops it to an 8. With the left-hander, the 2 corresponds to the 8. Drops us to an 8. 8 and 2 is a 10, which means it's a single with no chance for a home run. So Robin Ventura will just take his single right here. He's aboard with 1 out for Ellis Burks, the right fielder. Burks is lined to short on the left-right split and then grounded to short as well. So he is entertained Omar Vizquel twice. Burks 6-2 is a 9. That's trouble. 6-3 is a 2, total of 11. That's a potential home run. I'm sorry, it's a single with a potential home run. If you roll a 6, it's gone. It's gone. Ellis Burks, a 2-run homer. And boy, Bosio had been walking the tightrope for so long, and he finally slips off as a 2-run home run for Ellis Burks by rolling that 6. That 6 did it. So 2-run homer for Ellis Burks, and the Sox break through against Bosio, take a 2-1 lead. And here's Marullo. 6-1 is a 31, 6-5 is a 3, total of 34. It is a short fly to center field. So Marullo is out for out number 2. Sends up Lance Johnson, center fielder. Johnson is 1 for 2. Singled in the first, popped to third. Singled in the second, popped to third in the fourth. 4-5 is a 2. 4-3 is third baseman, and third baseman is Magadan. Magadan's a 3, total of 5, so it's an easy play for Magadan to end the inning. But the damage done on the 2-run homer from Ellis Burks. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. The White Sox have jumped on top 2-1, and it's up to Seattle to fight back. Mike Felder will lead it off, number 9 hitter for Seattle. But the Sox had given Blackjack McDowell a lead to hold on to. Felder flew to right his first chance. 3-4, that's the rare play possibility. It's a 3, so it will be a rare play. So I have to go to the rare playbook. Bases are empty. So we can go to that automatically. Bases empty. Just a matter of what the roll is. I'll roll the blue die just in case I need it, but we're looking at red and white and adding them up. That is a 5. So 5 with nobody out and the base is empty. 5 with nobody out and the base is empty. Long fly ball to left field. Well, I'll try to show this one without, hopefully it won't screw up anything. But what we got is a 5. The roll was a 5. There are no outs. Bases are empty. Long fly ball to left field. The only thing difference in the outs is which fielder is involved. This one, no outs, it's the left fielder. So left fielder for the White Sox in this case is Tim Raines. So let's look at Tim Raines' defense. His range rating is a 3. All right, outfielder gets late break on the ball, roll against outfielder's error rating. Okay, so we're looking at the error rating, not the range rating. It says option, subtract 10 from visitor's error rating, add 10 to home player's error rating. That's an option. So why not use it? Give the home team an advantage. So Raines' error rating is a 66. So I don't know if that's a good idea because he didn't make any errors all season apparently. So let's see what it says. If the roll is not higher, he recovers to make the catch. If the roll is higher, the ball is dropped for an error. Batter reaches second easily. Roll one die against the outfielder's arm. The die is higher. He slides into third safely for a 3-base error. Well, he didn't make any errors in real life, so I'm kind of reluctant to do this -10 thing. You know what? It's a game, so why not? So we're going to drop his error rating to 66 because they're on the road, thinking maybe the Kingdom is unfamiliar territory for him. So 56 is his error rating. If you roll higher than a 56, it's an error. 61, it's going to be an error. So White Sox fans are probably yelling at me already. So 61, it's going to be an error. The ball is dropped in for an error. Batter reaches second easily. Roll one die against the outfielder's arm. The outfielder arm for Raines is a 2. So when roll one die against the outfielder, if the die is higher, it slides in third base safely on a 3-base error. It is not higher. It's going to be a 2-base error. So it's a 2-base error. 2-base error on Tim Raines. And like I said, he did not make any errors in the regular season. I don't think, since he was given a 66 as a rating. That leads me to believe he didn't make any errors. But that's why you play the games. And since the Seattle was the home team and White Sox the visiting team, I decided to do the option rule, taking the -10, and that's what happened. So Vizquel is going to step up, and Jack McDowell not happy. Neither is neither of the White Sox, for that matter. Definitely Tim Raines not happy. So runner is at second base with nobody out. Tying run actually at second base with nobody out. Here's Vizquel. 4-1 is an 11. That's a possible error. 4-4 is the shortstop, and that's Guillen, who's a 46. So 1 to 46, he makes the play. 47 or higher is an error. He makes the play. That's an 11. So he makes the play. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, runners advance. Yep, batter out, runner advance. So even though it went to short, it was such a tough play, he had no opportunity to keep the runner from going to third. So Felder will take third base on the 6-3 ground out. One down, here's Magadan, and now the Sox will bring the infield in to try to choke off that tying run. 4-1 is an 11, another possible error. And that's a 3, so we're looking at the third baseman. And that is Ventura. His error rating is a 42. 51, that'll be an error. Infield in. Alright, it says roll against error rating. If roll is not higher, player is the same as 7 to 8 above. Let's look at this again here. Roll against errors rating. If roll is not higher, plays. If roll is higher, batter is safe on an error. So batter is safe on the error by Robin Ventura. That's an E5, second error of the inning on the White Sox. Although the first error you could argue was tainted. And we got a tie game at 2. So 2 errors in the inning. And boy, Blackjack McDowell is definitely fuming. We're tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Griffey. 1-3 is a 1, 1-4 is a 2. That's a strikeout. Boy, Griffey's had a rough night. 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. I'll bring up Jay Buhner. 2-2 tie here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-3 is a 1, 1-6 is a 3. That's a total of 4, which is another strikeout. So they get a run. They do it on no hits, 2 errors, and 1 left. So we completed 6 here at the Kingdome, and we are tied at 2 apiece. Both those runs unearned against Blackjack McDowell, obviously. So we go to the top of the 7th. Bosio can face 26 batters before he tires. Right now he has faced a total of 25, so he's right on the borderline. Can also go 7 innings. He does have that raised number of 4, and he's pitching halfway decent, but the bullpen is up for Seattle. They don't want to take any chances. For the White Sox, it's Karkovice, Guillen, and Raines, righty, lefty, and switch. Karkovice, 4-1's a 1, 4-3 is a third baseman, and Magadan will make the play easily. And Karkovice is retired. Here's Ozzie Guillen. 3-3 is a 14. 3-1 is a 1. Total of 15 in column 3. 15 in column 3 is a line out to second base. That's out number 2. And that'll bring up Tim Raines. 5-3 is a 6B, so if he reaches, we go to the action chart B. 6 there. 5-2 is a 2, total of 8, and that will be a base on balls for Tim Raines. And he's aboard with 2 outs, and we're going to action chart B. which talks about stolen bases, pickoff errors, that sort of thing. We get a 7, which is a stolen base error, SBE. Stolen base with possible throwing error on catcher. Roll against error's catcher rating. Roll is higher, all runners advance. Well, the catcher error rating is a 53 for Dave Valley. So higher than 53, we got a throwing error. We do not. But it will be a stolen base for Tim Raines. And he gets in scoring position with 2 outs to try to put the White Sox in the lead. And it's up to Joey Cora to bring him in. Cora is 0 for 2 with a walk. 2-1 is a 42, 2-6 is a 2, total of 44, which is a ground out back to Bosio to end the inning. That's going to be it for Bosio. He's going to survive 7 innings, but I don't think they want to push it any further. For the Sox in this inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. 7th inning stretch here at the Kingdome, and I'm going to stretch with them. No music or singing, just I need to stretch. And we go to the bottom of the 7th, tied at 2. Coming up for the Mariners, it'll be Martinez, Sasser, and Boone. And we may get a substitute for Sasser. We're going to let him hit here, but I think they're going to get at least a defensive replacement for Sasser. I'm pretty sure. I don't see any way to avoid that one. I mean, I think they pretty much need to do that. So, all right, that's the extent of my stretch right there. Game's moving along fairly well. Plus, I had to get up once to print that Marulo player card, so that gave me a little bit premature stretch. So we're going to go keep going. Tino Martinez. 5-4 is a 1. 5-6 is a 3. Total of 4. That is a grounder to short. Guillen makes the play. 1 away for Mackey Sasser. 6-5 is a 36. That'll be a strikeout. 2 down for Boone. 3-3 is the shaded area, which means we're going to the out or single section in the Kingdome. 3-6, which means McDowell has a 4. It's going to add to whatever number comes here. Right now it'd be a 9, and a 9 would be a single to right field, but we're going to roll and see if that 5 changes. That's a 6, so it changes to a 4. So the 5 drops to a 4. That's a 4. Total of 8. 8's still going to be a single to center field. So a 2-out single for Brett Boone keeps the inning going. And that will send us to Dave Valley. Catcher Dave Valley. 0 for 2. 6-2 in the shaded area again. 6-6 is a 4. That's bad news when you roll a 6-6 on the pitcher grid. That's a 4. That's a good chance for a home run. Right now that'd be a 12. But we're looking at the top row. Kingdome Valley's a righty, so we're looking at the second row here. See what that number 8 might change to. That's a 3, so it stays an 8. So we got an 8 and a 4. That's a 12. That's going to be a home run unless we roll a 1. That's the only thing that's going to stop it is a 1. And he does it. That's a 2-run home run for Dave Death Valley. And the Mariners have grabbed the lead 4-2. A big bomb from Dave Death Valley. And the Mariners lead at 4-2. And now Bosio can qualify for the win. McDowell just dropped his head, knew he made a bad pitch. Here's Felder. 2-6, and we're back to the shaded area again. 3 is the center fielder, so we know that Lance Johnson is going to make the catch. We'll just roll for posterity's sake. 4 means we're looking at a 4. I'm sorry, we're looking at a 3, changes to a 3, or stays a 3 actually. So and his 5 is going to easily cover that one. And that's going to do it for Blackjack McDowell too. He's going to go 7 innings and give up 4 runs. 2 were earned. The big blow, the 2-run homer from Dave Valley. And the Sox get 2 hits and don't leave anybody on to go with their 2 runs. We go to the 8th. And it is the Mariners 4, the White Sox 2. And we will get the bullpen for both teams are going to now be active. No complete games for either side. Coming up for the White Sox is the big hurt Frank Thomas, Ventura, and Burks. Hardly order. Right, left, right. So you can pretty much go in any direction you want if you're the Mariners. Let's see how they want to play it. I believe they're going to go to Jeff Full Nelson will be coming on for the Mariners. 5-3 with 1 save and a 4.35 ERA on the 93 season. Jeff Nelson. Ted Power is technically their closer. He had 13 saves. I think probably the guy that was the regular closer is probably injured because he's not on the roster. But out of the guys that are, Power has 13 saves. They picked him up from Cleveland, so I think they're using Jeff Nelson to get to Power. Right now is 4-2 game, top of the 8th. And here's the big hurt. 5-1 is a 5. 5-1 is a 2. Total of 7, and that's going to be 7 is going to be a walk. So leadoff walk to Frank Thomas. Not what you want if you are Seattle. You don't want to start walking guys. Now the tying run's going to come to the plate in the form of Robin Ventura. 1 long ball, and the game is tied. 2-3 is a 16. 2-5 is a 1. Total of 17. And strikeout with bases empty or fly out to center with men on base. So fly out to center will be the call. And there's 1 away. So 1 down, and here comes Ellis Burks. Burks had a 2-run homer his last time up. 5-5 is a 20. 5-4 is a 4. I'm sorry, it's a 3. Total of 23, and that's going to be a walk. So back-to-back walks. We go to action chart M. Again, potential wild pitches or whatnot can happen. Action chart M. We get a 3, which is a pickoff error chance. Possible error on pickoff attempt. Roll against pitcher's error rating. Nelson's error rating is a 65, so the only way this is an error is a 66. And it's not. So no pickoff error. Everybody gets back. Nothing's happening. Nothing to see here, as the saying goes. So Burks will reach. And 2-1 with 1 out. A couple of walks by Nelson has not been a good thing. Marullo will be pinch hit for. The White Sox will pull back Marullo, and they'll go to somebody else to be their designated hitter. And let's see who they might want to go to. Lefty LaValliere and Pasqua on the bench. And let's see, you don't want to use LaValliere, use your backup catcher, so you're probably not going to use him. Going to play the percentages with a left-hander and go with Dan Pasqua. So Pasqua will take over from Marullo as the DH. Dan Pasqua in a big spot, no less. Dan Pasqua. And they don't want to bring in the lefty to face Pasqua, because if they do, Chicago will counter with Bo Jackson. So they'd rather have Pasqua up there and not deal with Bo Nose. So 4-2, that's an 11 possible error. That's a 4 there for the blue, which is the shortstop, Vizquel. His error rating is a 53. That's a 53 right on the number, but no error. That number has to be higher than his error rating. It is not. So Vizquel will make the play. Vizquel will make the play. And let's see, runners advance. So Vizquel makes the play, but both runners will advance to second and third. There are now 2 outs, though. But the tying runs are in scoring position for Lance Johnson. Now, what do you do with Lance Johnson? He's a 3-11 hitter. First base is open. You have Ron Karkovice, who's 0 for 3, due up. But do you walk? They're going to intentionally walk the go-ahead run to play the percentages. So Lance Johnson will be given the intentional pass. It's unconventional. I understand that, but they are playing the percentages. Ron Karkovice is being called back. He will not hit. They will go to Spanky LaValliere. He's going to pick up from Pittsburgh. He will stay in the game to catch. So LaValliere stay in the game to catch. Now you can't pinch hit for LaValliere because he's the last catcher you have. So do they bring in the lefty? They may go to Powell, the lefty. Dennis Powell. Let's see if they want to go to Dennis Powell. I believe they will. So Jeff Nelson is going to be lifted, and Dennis Powell, who is tougher on lefties than righties, will be in the game to pitch. So both sides kind of get the strategy going. So LaValliere pinch hitting for Karkovice, and in turn Powell will be the new pitcher for Seattle. Nelson's going to go 2/3 of an inning, walk 3, one of them intentional. No runs as of yet, but all 3 runners are his responsibility. So obviously brought into a tough spot is Mr. Powell to face LaValliere. Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 8th. Mariners lead 4-2. Sox threaten. 3-4. That's a rare play chance. It's an odd number. It's a rare play. It is. Well, actually, it's a 1, which means we're going to the stadium to see if it's a foul out or a foul ball. Not much room in the Kingdom, so if a 1-2, it's a pop out. 3-6, it's just going to be a foul ball in the seats. It's caught for a pop out. How about that? Popped him up, and the inning is over. So Powell does the job. And let's see, I don't know if the book says anything officially about who makes the catch on the pop out. Let's see. Let me read on here and see if it gives me definitively what that would be. Just go check that out. Not that it really matters, just want to try to play it right, if I'm going to play it right. Okay. When scoring foul out, put outs, roll. Okay, we're going to roll and see what we get. We get a 6, so the put out's by the shortstop in foul territory. So Vizquel and LaValliere went the opposite way behind third base, and Magadan kind of lost track of it, so Vizquel had to come over and foul ground to make the catch. So it's an F6 officially. So they get no hits and they leave 3 on. And boy, another blown opportunity for the White Sox. Second time in a row, or second time in the game, they've left 2 runners in scoring position. In this case, they leave them loaded. So the LOBs are going to come back to bite them for sure if they don't come back and get this game. So that's going to do it for the Sox in the 8th. And now Ted Power will be scheduled to come in to pitch the 9th for the Mariners to try to close the deal. Sox need a new pitcher. McDowell gave up 5 hits. And of course the big home run to Valley, which was a big difference there. Walks and strikeouts. Let's see what McDowell did. I don't have him walking anybody. Struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got him for 7 strikeouts. So Powell, in the 3rd of an inning, did his job. And they are going to set it up for Mr. Power in the 9th. Right now, the White Sox need a new pitcher. Let's see who they want to go to. You got this for the Mariners. You have Vizquel, Magadan, and Griffey switching 2 lefts. So you're looking at a probable lefty, and that's going to be Scott Badinsky, the left-hander. So the only lefty in the pen for the Sox, it'll be Badinsky that will be coming on. Try to keep the score where it is and give his team a chance in the 9th. Seattle can close to within 7 games in the division if they hang on and win this game. it's definitely a big deal for them. Vizquel will lead it off. 1-4 is a 5, and 1-2 is a 1. 6, that's a strikeout for Radinsky. On away. Magadan is your hitter. Pretty decent defensive player, so I don't know that they're going to want to pinch hit for him. Flowers can play third base as well, but he's not as good defensively. Greg Litton can play third base. I think they're going to stick with the veteran Magadan. 6-6. How about that? It's a split chance though, so unfortunately Magadan's going to hit a fly out. When you get the shaded area and it's not a home run check, you stick with the original roll. So had this been a 9, we would have checked the stadium, but since it's a 16, it's just going to be a fly out to left field. So the lefty got him on that one, so we'll circle that as a lefty right check as well. So 2 down, and here's Griffey. So I guess you could argue that they should have used Litton or Flowers. That 6-6 would have been a potential home run for either one of them. Griffey 6-4, that's in the ballpark chart. That's a 9. 6-2 is a 1, so Radinsky adds a 1 to whatever we get here. The ballpark up here, top row. See what the top row does. It's a 1, so that drops this number to a 7. That's a total of 8, so Griffey will just get a single. But he finally gets a hit. He was 0 for 3 up until that point, but he gets the 2-out single. And that brings up Jay Buhner. Now, do you leave the lefty Radinsky in against Buhner? I don't think you do. So they're going to make a call to the bullpen with the White Sox. And they will go to a right-hander out of the pen. And they will go to right-handed tossing Don Paul. So Paul will be the new pitcher. Radinsky goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up a hit, does record a strikeout, and the runner on first base is his responsibility. So Don Paul it is, face Jay Buhner. 3-4, another rare play possibility. This is an even number, so we're going for a comebacker to the mound. Buhner runs at a 3, Griffey runs at a 4, so they're going for the play on Buhner. They need a 4, 5, or 6 to throw Buhner out at first. And they don't get it, so Buhner's going to beat this out for an infield hit. Don Paul was not able to make the play in time, so runners are now at first and second with 2 down for Tino Martinez, and of course they used their only lefty, so they have to let Paul face Tino Martinez. 4-6 is a 3, 4-1 is the first baseman Frank Thomas, who's a 4. That's a total of 7 with the infield back. That's going to be an easy play. Thomas will take to the bag himself to end the inning. So the Mariners get 2 hits and they leave 2 on, but don't score any runs. And we go to the 9th, last chance for the White Sox, as they trail the Mariners 4-2. And the new pitcher for Mariners will be their new founded closer that they acquired from Cleveland, Ted Power. Ted Power had 13 saves in 1993 combined with Cleveland and Seattle. Seattle will also make a defensive change, as we don't want Mackey Sasser in left field. They're going to go for Greg Litton. Greg Litton in left field is a 3-3 and a 66, much better than Sasser. So Litton will take over in left field as a defensive replacement for the erstwhile former catcher Mackey Sasser. So Litton is on defensively as the Mariners try to protect this lead. Ozzie Guillen will lead off against Mr. Power. It'll be Guillen, and then the top of the order, Raines and Cora. So Bo Jackson is available to pinch hit if they need him. So is Steve Sachs, but I think they're going to stick with what they got so far. So Guillen, 1 for 3 on the day, or on the night rather. going to lead off. 6-3 is a 16. Boy, just missed a chance at a double there on a 6-2. But 6-3 on a 16 is going to be simply a fly to left field for one away. So Ian just missed it. One down, top of the order, and Tim Raines. He's been a thorn in Seattle's side tonight. He is 2 for 3, a double, a single, and a walk, and a stolen base. Hasn't scored any runs though. 1-6 is a 45 when the base is clear. That is a strikeout for out number 2 for Ted Power. So now we're down to Joey Cora, last chance. Joey Cora has not done well in this game at all, actually. So let's see if they want to bring in maybe Steve Sachs to pinch hit. Sachs was a worse hitter though at 235. Bo Jackson only 232. And they need base runners. They're down by 1 run. They bring in Bo Jackson to try for a home run, but since they're down 2 runs, they need a guy with the highest average, and that's Cora. 3-5 is a 3 with an asterisk, which means he will try to steal if he gets on. 3-2 is a 3 there, so it's a total of 6 in column 3. There's a short fly to center field, and that's your ball game. Ted Power holds on for the Mariners, and they hold on for the victory by the score of 4-2. Possible tainted victory because of that optional rule I used out of the book for the home team and the visiting team, which caused Tim Raines to make an error, and that led to one of the runs. But that would only make it. They'd still lose 3-2 either way you go. So I guess we just got to do it how you do it. So I want to pause the video and come back with the totals and get you ready for next Sunday night's game. All right, we're back here in the Kingdom, where the Seattle Mariners have defeated the Chicago White Sox by the score of 4-2 here on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Look at the totals for both teams. For the Seattle Mariners, 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and they left 4 on base. Chicago White Sox, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 2 big errors, and they managed to leave a lot on base. 4, 5, 6, 9. I've got them 4 left on base. So the errors and the left on bases are what really sealed the fate of the White Sox in this one, not to mention the 2-run homer from Dave Valley was the big difference as well. So looking at the updated standings, Chicago is going to drop to 59-44. Seattle will improve to 53-52. So they're going to be now 7 games back with, let's see, it's 105, so they've got 57 games remaining. So they have to try to make up 7 games in 57 plus jump all these teams. I mean, it's not impossible if you get on a good winning streak, but not likely. But still, it did help out Kansas City, California, and Texas for sure as they inch a little bit closer in the American League East. So next week, we will travel all the way from the West Coast in Seattle to the East Coast in South Florida. It'll be the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Florida Marlins. It'll be Terry Mulholland for the Marlins Terry Mulholland for the Phillies against Charlie Huff for the Marlins. And Gary Sheffield is now a member of the Marlins with the trade with San Diego. So Sheffield is there in the lineup. They no longer have Trevor Hoffman in the bullpen, but they do have Sheffield in the lineup. Kevin Stocker is now with the Phillies, so he will be the shortstop going forward. They're starting shortstop. And, of course, you got both Williams here, Mike Williams and Mitch Williams, the Wild thing. So that's going to be the ball game next Sunday. The August 8th game, 1993, will be the Marlins and the Phillies. But for tonight, it is from the Kingdom. Seattle will win it by the score of 4-2. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Seattle. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the White Sox. Winning pitcher is Chris Bosio, loser Jack McDowell, and the save to Ted Power. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Replay Baseball. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.